Right, good morning, Mr. Henley. First of all, I would just like to thank you on behalf of myself and my colleagues for giving us the opportunity to consult for your company over the last few months. We've learned so much about Bergen and Venture Company, and we are so excited to share with you a recommendation for where we see Bergen in the future. As you know, my name is Stephanie. I'm Haskayne.
And I'm Lucas.
And we will be walking you through our recommendation today and where we see Bergen in the future. So before we begin, I would just like to let you know that I'll be walking through a little bit of the background and a few of the analysis that we did. I'll then pass it off to Lucas, and he will be discussing our decision analysis, and then Jess, we will conclude our presentation with a bit of the financials and some of the risks. So what I have behind me here is our executive summary. This is essentially a summary that we've been working about everything we've been working on over the past few months. So we came up with a few of the issues that we decided to address, then our recommendation, and finally the outcome that you will see eventually. So first of all, one of the first issues is that low cash resources. The recommendation that we came up with was quick cash by doing pre-sales and taking a loan out immediately from the bank. Jessica will detail this a little bit later on in the presentation, but eventually this will lead you to a $290,000 immediate cash right there. Second of all, we were unsure of product focus. There was a lot of different opportunities for who you were targeting, where you were going to target them, how you were going to sell this product. We decided to create a specialty approach with a special target market, and eventually create a few contracts with a few different deals, which we'll discuss a little bit later. And finally, time. You're still working on a full-time job right now, and we recommend immediately that you quit your job. Bergen has so many opportunities that you need to touch on right now, and eventually this will lead to $4 million that we're going to touch on later again. So we talk a bit at the environment. First of all, internally, there is a huge product demand right now. Everyone loves your product. You need to get out there immediately and start working on our implementation right away. Second of all, there are a few low funds, but we will combat this by creating a contract with the Army and taking out a loan immediately, and again, lack of time. So we recommend that you quit your job today and focus on Bergen 100%. Second of all, the external environment. It is a global recession right now, but there also is a shift in consumer preferences to going green. It may cost a lot cheaper to purchase a plastic water bottle, just like the one you have in front of you here. However, eventually it's going to be huge time savings to purchase a green water bottle. So we took a look at consumer analysis. In the past, people were looking for low cost, a one-time use water bottle, something like this. But the trends that are going into the future, people are looking more towards, they're worried about BPA. There have been some issues with other companies that we don't not want to get into trouble with. A little bit of durability concerns. Your product is extremely durable and so valuable to these consumers. And something that's environmentally friendly, something that they can reuse over and over. So our opportunity is to meet demand for quality while still being functional and eco-friendly. So, as consultants, we have not consulting way. We always wanted to take a look at the creative solution, the efficient production, and the passionate leadership. Our recommendation today leads you through all of these, and we'll be touching on these a little bit further. So, just to draw your attention to where we really see Bergen in the future, if you were to keep your job in the next year, including your bonus, you'd be making $173,000 a year. If you look into the future, Bergen is going to have a valuation of $1.1 million a year within the next year. So basically, this is almost 10 times the amount. We recommend that you stay with Bergen and quit your full-time job right away. I'm going to pass it off to Lucas, and he'll be talking about the decision analysis.
Thank you, Stephanie. So I'll be talking about the decision analysis and the criteria that we took into consideration while concluding with our recommendation. I will then talk about the strategy and the reasoning behind our recommendation. Now, we at Consultants, we outlined three main factors in creating a recommendation for the future. Our first one was who's our target market? Who should Bergen approach as a target market? Who should they market to? Who should they sell to? Our second one is how we're going to reach these people. How should Bergen create an effective stream to reach the customers? And the third and final one is how do we allocate our resources? And how is Bergen's funds allocated to the efficient production of reaching that target market through that specified driver? Now in the discussion of who's our target market, we outlined three main targets. The first one was an outdoor athlete. You've got an extremely valuable product. It's exceptionally attractive to these customers, and we believe that this is a niche market that you'll be able to divide, conquer, and eventually expand. I'll expand on that a little bit later. The second is the opportunistic. More of which is a low price customer, which moves forward with a high volume in sales. Something that we believe in IT Consultants is not the structure or the strategy that you should pursue in the future. We believe that high margins, along with a high quality product, should be taken forward and used in the future. I'll explain that again in the recommendation. The final target market that we discussed was the eco-friendly market. Now, this market is becoming a lot more expressive since the BPA, a scare of 2008. We've seen a lot of different companies in a downturn, and now we want to take this and recommend it to you as Bergen enters this new marketplace with many, many opportunities. So we took a little bit of the eco-friendly, the BPA issues, and we moved it into the outdoor athlete. Moving forward, the outdoor athlete with the niche market is what we're going to move forward with in that section. Now, how do we reach them? So we have three different ways to reach them, which we outline. We have a distributor market, we have an online market, and we have a direct retailer market. Now, the third one, an online market, destroys your contribution margin and makes you less money. It gives you a large expressive environment. You're able to reach a lot of customers, but unfortunately, those funds, the large amount of sales and the volume is not sufficient enough to continue with the operation. So we ruled that out. The next one, the retailer, we went with a 1.5-year lag time, which was seen in the documents you gave to us. So moving forward, they recommended a 10 to 15% discount, something that we at IT Consultants believe, as well as yourself, will give you a negative sales proportion. Something that, again, we don't want to recommend to you as a negative. So we move forward with the distributor. We chose this simply because there's a lot of market access. You've already came into contact with someone who will give you 50% market penetration with a lot of this target market. So, should we take it? Should we not? We move forward with it. They take you forward. They give you coverage in the administrative section. They cover your distribution costs, as well as a lot of your general and sales features. So moving forward as a one-man show, we strongly recommend that you move forward with the distribution line, and as well as the Army penetration as well. We didn't include it because you're actually contacting a different market. But for this one, we'll move forward. So with the distributor market, targeting an outdoor athlete in a niche marketplace, how should we fund this? Well, we at IT Consultants took a strong look into this. We found three different ways. A pre-sale option. You can pre-sale on your website, you can pre-sale to all these distributors, or different kinds of ways. As far as short-term debt, you can go to the bank, take out a loan, or equity. Equity is something we looked into. There would be strong investor interest. You've already generated a lot of leads, and a lot of sales that you've really focused on, and that you can decide that you can attain at least 10% of those direct retailers for the future. Instead of that, we decided that remaining in control of your company, as well as owning the assets and owning the company itself, will create more value for you and a greater opportunity for the future. Something that we really wanted to focus on in the future and within our recommendation. Moving forward, I will now talk about the different type of recommendation as well as the strategy. So, the outdoor athlete with the distributor, communication line between them, with a pre-sale, funding as well as debt. Now moving into the strategy, what we want you to become is a niche market penetrator, which conquers that and then in the future expands. The first step that we recommend to you is to create contracts with the different parties that are incorporated. Number one is the Army. We strongly believe that this market can help you in more ways than one. You not only can attain sales, but more importantly, you can attain a strong marketing strategy, something that you can move forward with. I'll expand on this in the future on the next slide, but the step two is to take out a $100,000 loan. Something that we believe in the short term is more valuable than any type of equity that you could have raised, because in this case, you could actually pay it back in a short term, which my associate Jaspreet will expand on in the future. Step three, marketing. You've got access to Facebook and Twitter for free. You volunteered your time in saying that you were able to assess and create a viable marketplace within your website. So we strongly encourage you to do that, and strongly encourage your website development with including a sales feature, which we'll again expand on in the future. So right now, these contracts are so important. The ACA is your shoe-in the Chinese marketplace. You guys now have penetration, manufacturing in China, which we believe is a risk, but at the same time gives you a lot of opportunity, gives you a lot of room for growth. So your contract now, you're shaking hands. There's nothing really on contract, and we believe that to solidify the agreement and to make clear everything that you guys need moving forward is very important in the success of your company. Now, we suggested this product mix moving forward simply because we're inclusive of the Army as well as that niche market that we mentioned earlier, the sports. And 150 units a year allotted in those 7 years. Now, moving forward, those quick forms of cash, which we mentioned in the executive summary, are very important to the growth and the steady success of Bertie. Now, the Army resales, we suggested a 20% down payment from the $20,000 in sales from the Army. This will give you an influx of cash and allow you to at least give yourself a little room to move as far as the loan goes, and as far as the order of the next ship. In addition to the loan, that'll give you a nice influx of cash to move forward. And the annual review cycle. I'm talking about the distribution channels that I was talking about. As Layton moves forward with the 50% market coverage, some of the largest sporting goods in America, big sporting goods, things like that, make sure that your product is the most successful entering the marketplace. What I also, more so that I want to add is an overview of this strategy. Again, I'd like to call it to divide that niche, conquer it, and make sure that you expand. Something that large companies have done before and worked very successful. We believe that iConsulting, that this strategy will move you forward and position you in a place of success for the future. And I will now pass it off to Jaspreet, who will talk about the financial and the risk implications of our strategy.
Thank you, Lucas. So, Mr. Henry, right now I would just like to walk you through some of the financial considerations associated with our proposed strategy. So the first most pressing issue that your company faces right now is low cash reserves. You currently have one loan outstanding and you're looking to further your company. And in order to do so, you need cash for production. As Lucas mentioned, we recommend debt financing with a combination of quick cash strategies. projected that you can sell 10,000 water bottles during an online resale. This will take place 5 months from now. This will allow you to earn some money from the military contract, which you can use into investing into production and meeting the consumer demand online. So the revenue would be $150,000, which is 10,000 bottles at $50 a piece, and that brings your profit to another $95,000. So those two are solutions for cash over the next 10 months. And really our approach is to prime you to go into distribution into actual stores. And so with the first 10 months, earning that cash and generating $185,000, we feel strongly about the fact that you can definitely use this money into manufacturing. So in a year, we have projected, based on a conversation we had at a previous meeting, that you're confident you would be able to sell 100,000 units over the next year. Assuming a 15% annual growth based on our market projections and manufacturing costs of $4 per unit, since we're going with a distribution channel with the incurs the logistics costs, we have calculated that you can earn $1.1 million in the next year. Compared to your $123 salary, this increase in profit is exponential. It is a great opportunity and the time is now to invest. Moving on, we have come up with an implementation plan to help structure your expansion of your company. So today, we recommend creating a contract with ACA, which is the manufacturer of the water bottles in China. They have been a great supplier so far for you, and you do not voice any complaints. We looked into the company and looked at their processes, and they seem like an amazing partnership to do the production. Also create a contract with the military. This, again, will help you with your quick cash, and the sooner you create this contract, the sooner you'll get that $95,000 in savings, in profit. In addition, we would like you to contact your bank for a loan. Now, this loan would be $100,000. This would cover the expense of manufacturing for the military, and it can be repaid upon receiving the full payment of the military order. In 5 months, so after you've received the cash from the military operation, we recommend starting with online resale. You mentioned that you're very confident in your ability to design websites, so why not capitalize on that? Create the website and create a place for your consumers to see your product, and a website is a great way to get your brand out there across all distribution channels around the world. It's a great opportunity for you. Finally, in a year, the sales will start in stores, and because they usually take about a year and a half to actually make a decision about a product. At that point, we also recommend having a post-implementation review, just to make sure that the direction of the company aligns with your values and your goals, because at the end of the day, you are the owner and we want you to be happy. Now, although we are very confident with our plan, there are some risks as associated with any business plan. The first one being the economy. We are 6 months into a global recession, and we have conducted some in-depth economic analysis, and it does not seem that this recession is going to go away anytime soon. So in order to mitigate this, we recommend keeping your prices low. $15 is a great price point, because that will help your consumers purchase the water bottles without being worried about the high costs. The second risk is a retailer's decision. As I mentioned, they take a year to a year and a half to make a decision. So try to show them that your water bottle is the future of hydration. Make it an easy decision. Make them want to have your water bottle in their stores as soon as possible. And so as you can see, we've addressed the issues that your company is facing. And by implementing our strategy, we are confident that you can utilize $4 million over the next couple of years. We believe that your product is strong enough for the Army, strong enough for your consumers, and strong enough to help you maintain long-term success. On behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to thank you for your time. It has been a pleasure consulting for you, and we wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
You mentioned that you're simply pre-selling 10,000 bottles online. How do you go about doing that, 10,000 bottles, and what time
so when your website is all set up and you have created a contract where the water bottles will be coming in about 4 months, so you already have them. Once the website is set up in about 4 months, then that's when we're recommending you do the resale.
And how would I attract and build large to the website?
We believe that the most effective marketing strategies are the free and viral strategies that you've already addressed, which include Facebook as well as Twitter. Including a shopping cart type of feature in the website will also increase the sales as opposed to a simple credit card transaction.
How is it different from the online store and you would in favor
Simply put, the larger online retailers, for example Amazon, include a large discount. In this case, you'd actually be able to realize the larger depth of view just because you're able to drop ship, you're able to directly market to your customers and effectively communicate the benefits of the product so you don't lose any profits or margins.
You indicate realization over a 5-month period, and then you go on to look at a 3-year horizon. How does the long-term focus in terms of profit payout and retail? So how do you consider that whether it's sustainable operations or not?
So what you mean is how our projected cash flows for the next 3 years are sustainable and for the operations of the company. And beyond. Well, this largely relies upon your relationship with ACA, which is the current manufacturer. By making a contract, you can ensure consistent manufacturing prices. So over the next 5 years, those costs will not skyrocket. In addition, we project an increase in volume of purchases. As you mentioned, there is a 16% potential for growth in the reusable water bottle manufacturing industry. So riding that growth wave, that will also help you maintain sustainability. You have a product that meets the demand of the customer. It is sustainable, reusable, not very expensive. So we have no doubt in our minds that people will not buy that product.
I'm a bit confused about the numbers that you presented in the financials that was 2010 profit of 1.1 million. Is 2010 year one? So that would match up with the online resale and military contract?
2010 would actually be year 2. So year 1 would consist of the online resale and the military contract. We believe year 1 would be used to prime your company for the distribution and going into stores. This would enable you to raise enough cash so that come 2010, you'll have enough money to meet the demand for the store.
So just to follow that, then the profit that you projected from your online pre-sales and your military contract looks to be $180,000. That's not covering other operating expenses. That's just sort of that's the direct cost of goods and spending.
That's correct. That's cost of goods as well as the cost of creating new mold. Since you are outsourcing actual manufacturing to ACA, you don't incur those high fixed costs. So your cost base is mostly variable. That varies with activity.
Okay, so then to scale up to your 100,000 units in 2010, how will you finance that?
We will finance that using the money that we earned in 2009 from that cash, liquid cash sources. And in addition, at that point, it would be possible to take out another loan just to cover any additional expenses. Because your distributor is going to need the cash payback period of 50 days, cash flow won't be a problem because that is such a short period compared to any other ways of selling the products. So we finance it mostly from that first year.
Do you expect that our agency will support to get this going? And if you did,
Thank you. That concludes the question and answer